Well, I think we have to start with understanding that the natural resources of the country belong to the country and therefore to the citizens. Yes, of course, we do give licenses often to foreign companies to mine or extract our natural resources, but essentially they belong to citizens, and it's really important then that they are managed in an open and accountable way, and in a way that also counters corruption risks as well, because we can't afford to lose the benefits of these natural resources. They should come through to the general populace, to the people of Namibia.
Now, Namibia is estimated to be sitting on the second largest oil reserves in sub-Saharan Africa. This clearly raises the question of whether Namibia could be in line to become a victim of the notorious resource curse, like we are seeing in many other countries around the world. Wouldn't you say?
That's certainly true, but we must do everything we can to avoid repeating the mistakes that have been made in other countries. I think Namibia is in quite a good position. We're a democracy, we're an open society. We can make demands on transparency and accountability, which many of the worst examples you just referred to, they weren't perhaps, when the corruption was worse, they weren't actually functioning democracies with free media and so on, and Namibia is quite different in that respect. So we have a better chance of doing well on this, but we need to make the commitments now to make sure that we don't fall into that resource curse trap.
Now, everyone seems to be so excited about the new findings. What could be more, or what could be some of the negative aspects of vast revenue inflows to the natural resource sector spurred by a major discovery at the expense of other sectors?
So one of the big dangers is that we'll just be tempted by the levels of income available from the oil discoveries to neglect other parts of the economy. So essentially we'll be throwing all our eggs into one basket. So what we have to do is make sure we continue to build a diverse economy. Despite having oil and gas, we mustn't neglect tourism, agriculture, and the other elements of Namibian economy. We have to develop also new areas if we can. So that's really important that we have a very clear strategy on that. And then the other aspect, of course, is that these extractive industries, particularly oil and gas, are linked to growing corruption in countries. So we have to make sure that our institutions, like the Anti-Corruption Commission, our courts and so on, are strong enough and independent enough to be able to deal with this. And perhaps initially before that, our laws and our regulations need to be able to deter corruption and make it clear to those who would be corrupt that they won't be able to get away with it.
Well, Graham, what role can third parties such as the World Bank and the Extraction Industry Transparency Initiative, or EITI, with their bargaining power in persuading the government to adopt principles of good governance and transparency?
Yes, I don't think the World Bank has too much influence here, because fortunately we don't owe the money to the World Bank, so they don't have too much leverage on us. But the Extractive Industry Transparency Initiative, that's mentioned in their AMBER plan. Namibia is currently considering joining that, and actually, it's in the past it's been accused of being too weak, that member countries can get away with a lot, even though they are members. But it is an evolving organization. It is becoming stricter, and some of the requirements for publishing information are becoming more mandatory. So I think EITI is a voluntary organization, but it does seem to make a lot of sense for Namibia to meet those standards that are required by being an EITI member. So I think that there are clear benefits from joining the EITI. I think those who are not so keen, and there has been some resistance to this in Namibia from the private sector in particular, should make clear why they don't want to join it, because essentially it's just about making public a lot of information which should actually be available to citizens anyway, and will probably be available under the Access to Information Law when it comes in quite soon. So there shouldn't be very serious objections to EITI.